Have you ever felt an inexplicable tension in the air, as though someone harbors unspoken negativity toward you? Perhaps it's a colleague who subtly undermines your ideas, a friend who suddenly grows distant, or even a stranger whose icy demeanor leaves you puzzled. What causes these unseen ripples in our social interactions? Beneath the surface lies a complex web of emotions, often rooted in ancient human tendencies like envy, misunderstanding, and fear of nonconformity. Understanding why people might secretly hate you is not just an exercise in introspection, but a pathway to greater compassion and wisdom. By unraveling the threads of human behavior through the lenses of Buddhist philosophy and Stoic principles, we can uncover profound insights into our relationships and ourselves. This journey is not about placing blame or fostering self-doubt, but about fostering resilience, empathy, and growth. The ancient Stoics believed that external opinions should hold little sway over our inner peace, while Buddhism teaches that clinging to such judgments only amplifies suffering. Both philosophies converge on a central truth. The way others perceive you often reflects their internal struggles more than your actions. This realization is liberating, freeing you from the burden of unnecessary guilt and allowing you to focus on your own values and purpose. In this exploration, we'll delve into 9 reasons why people may harbor hidden resentment toward you, drawing from timeless wisdom and real-life examples. Each reason serves as a window into the human psyche, offering actionable strategies to navigate these dynamics with grace and integrity. From envy and misunderstandings to the influence of gossip and societal expectations, these factors shape our interactions in ways both subtle and profound. Let's embark on this journey of discovery together, peeling back the layers of resentment to reveal deeper truths about connection, compassion, and the art of living authentically. Reason 1: envy and jealousy. Envy and jealousy are emotions as old as humanity itself, capable of transforming admiration into bitterness. They often emerge when someone perceives qualities, achievements, or circumstances in another that they deeply desire but feel incapable of attaining. Stoic philosophy, with its emphasis on personal accountability and detachment from external validation, views envy as a reflection of the envious person's dissatisfaction with their own life. Similarly, Buddhist teachings warn against clinging and craving, identifying them as fundamental roots of suffering. This dual perspective highlights an essential truth. Envy is not a reflection of your worth, but of the other person's inner turmoil. Imagine a situation where someone observes your success, perhaps a well-earned promotion or personal accomplishment, and instead of feeling inspired, they feel diminished. It's a psychological mechanism wherein your achievements inadvertently highlight their perceived shortcomings. Consider the iconic figure of Steve Jobs. A visionary who transformed industries, Jobs was often the target of harsh criticism. Many labeled him as overly ambitious or even tyrannical, but a closer examination reveals that much of this disdain stemmed from envy of his relentless pursuit of innovation. His refusal to compromise and his ability to see potential where others could not made him both revered and resented. Recognizing envy's roots allows us to respond to such situations with understanding rather than defensiveness. Envy also thrives in our interconnected digital age. Social media, a modern stage for personal achievements, often magnifies these emotions. When someone sees carefully curated glimpses of another's seemingly perfect life, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparison. Yet Stoicism reminds us that external appearances often mask deeper realities. The life envied is rarely as flawless as it seems. In the Buddhist tradition, the story of Devadatta, a cousin of the Buddha, serves as a profound example. Devadatta's envy of the Buddha's spiritual authority led him to repeatedly attempt to discredit and harm the Enlightened One. Despite these actions, the Buddha's response was one of compassion and equanimity, understanding that Devadatta's actions were rooted in his own inner struggles. This story illustrates how the ability to remain grounded in the face of envy can transform potential conflicts into opportunities for growth and reflection. To navigate envy's complexities, consider adopting practices that foster inner peace and resilience. Gratitude, for instance, shifts focus from what others have to what you already possess. Reflecting on your journey rather than comparing it to others can also foster a sense of fulfillment. Ultimately, responding to envy with compassion both toward yourself and others disarms its negative power. Historical figures and personal experiences alike reveal that envy is an emotion best met with understanding. By acknowledging its origins and refusing to internalize it, you can maintain your equilibrium and continue to pursue your path with clarity and purpose. Reason 2. Misunderstandings and ineffective communication. Misunderstandings are a silent saboteur of relationships, often creating barriers that lead to resentment and hostility. These breakdowns in communication occur when intentions, tone, or actions are misinterpreted, leaving both parties feeling alienated and unheard. Even a simple gesture or phrase can spiral into significant discord when filtered through the lens of assumption. Mindful communication serves as the antidote to such issues. The Buddhist practice of right speech emphasizes speaking with clarity, intention, and compassion. Similarly, Stoic philosophy advocates for measured responses and self-awareness in dialogue. Together, these approaches encourage us to bridge the gaps created by misunderstanding. Consider the case of public figures like Oprah Winfrey. Her meteoric rise to fame and her open, empathetic communication style garnered immense admiration. Yet there were moments when her intentions were misconstrued. During interviews or discussions, her probing questions sometimes led to accusations of insensitivity. However, Oprah's ability to listen deeply and address concerns with humility and care transformed potential conflicts into opportunities for connection. In everyday life, misunderstandings can take many forms. Take, for instance, a workplace scenario where a manager frequently interrupts team members during meetings. While the manager might view their actions as enthusiasm or efficiency, the team may perceive it as dismissive or overbearing. A real-life example comes from a senior executive who attended a mindfulness workshop and realized the impact of her interruptions. She adopted a practice of active listening, pausing to let others express themselves fully before responding. This simple change dramatically improved team dynamics, fostering trust and collaboration. Self-awareness is crucial in preventing misunderstandings. By taking a moment to reflect on our words and actions, we can minimize the risk of unintended harm. It's equally important to seek clarity when confusion arises. Asking questions like, "What did you mean by that?" or "Can you elaborate?" demonstrates a willingness to understand rather than assume. Miscommunication also stems from our tendency to project our emotions onto others. If someone is feeling stressed or insecure, they may interpret a neutral comment as a personal attack. Recognizing this dynamic allows us to approach conversations with empathy, acknowledging the other person's perspective without compromising our own integrity. Ultimately, the key to overcoming misunderstandings lies in cultivating a mindset of curiosity and openness. Instead of reacting defensively, strive to listen with the intent to understand. This approach not only resolves conflicts but also strengthens relationships, creating a foundation of trust and mutual respect. Transparent and empathetic communication is more than a tool for resolving misunderstandings. It is the cornerstone of meaningful human connection. Reason 3. Differences in values and beliefs. In a world as diverse as ours, differences in values and beliefs are inevitable. These differences, while enriching, can also spark tension when they challenge deeply held identities. People often feel threatened when their perspectives are questioned, mistaking disagreements for personal attacks. Take the case of Malala Yousafzai, a young activist advocating for girls' education in regions where traditional norms resist such change. Her efforts were met with global admiration, but also fierce opposition from those whose cultural values clashed with her mission. Rather than reacting defensively, Malala continued to emphasize the universal importance of education, fostering dialogue instead of division. Her approach illustrates how differences can be navigated with respect and perseverance. Closer to everyday life, consider a vegan teacher surrounded by colleagues who enjoy meat-based diets. Initially, debates over meals created tension and misunderstanding. However, one day she chose to share her journey to veganism, not to convert, but to explain her values. By emphasizing mutual respect and acknowledging the legitimacy of different choices, she diffused the conflict and opened a space for understanding. Both Stoic and Buddhist philosophies remind us that clinging to the idea that one's values are the only correct ones often leads to suffering. Marcus Aurelius wrote about accepting the diversity of human perspectives, urging individuals to focus on their own virtue rather than trying to control others. Similarly, Buddhist teachings encourage letting go of rigid attachments to views, recognizing that such attachments only create barriers. The key to navigating differences lies in viewing them as opportunities for growth rather than grounds for conflict. When confronted with opposing beliefs, approach the situation with curiosity. Ask questions to understand the other perspective rather than seeking to prove your own. This doesn't mean compromising your values. Instead, it means respecting others' journeys while staying true to your own. Ultimately, embracing differences with tolerance and respect enriches our interactions and broadens our horizons. It transforms potential clashes into opportunities for deeper connections, reminding us that diversity, when approached with an open heart, is a source of strength rather than division. Reason 4. The influence of gossip and rumors. Gossip is a social wildfire. It spreads quickly, fueled by curiosity and a need for drama, and its destructive force can distort perceptions and shatter reputations. Often, it is easier to accept a tantalizing rumor than to seek the truth, making gossip a powerful yet dangerous tool of social influence. One of the core teachings of Buddhism is the principle of right speech, part of the Noble Eightfold Path. This principle encourages abstaining from gossip, slander, and falsehoods. Instead, it promotes speech that builds trust and fosters understanding. Stoic philosophy similarly warns against idle chatter, urging individuals to focus on meaningful discourse rather than superficial talk that erodes relationships. Consider the case of Princess Diana. Throughout her life, she was the subject of relentless gossip, with tabloids dissecting her every move. Despite this, Diana chose to focus on her humanitarian work, allowing her actions to speak louder than the rumors. Her commitment to causes like landmine removal and AIDS awareness helped to redefine her public image, proving that integrity can outshine misinformation. In a more everyday context, imagine a business owner whose reputation becomes tarnished by false accusations. Rather than retaliating or engaging with the negativity, she decides to focus on transparency and consistency. By continuing to operate with integrity and demonstrating her values through action, she gradually rebuilds trust with her clients and community. The appeal of gossip lies in its ability to entertain and captivate, but it often comes at the expense of others. Recognizing this, both Stoicism and Buddhism emphasize the importance of mindfulness in speech. Before speaking, ask yourself, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? These simple questions can serve as a powerful filter to prevent the spread of harmful rumors. Another important aspect is the ability to withstand gossip directed at oneself. This requires emotional resilience and a focus on what is within one's control. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." By adhering to this principle, one can maintain inner peace even amidst external chaos. Ultimately, gossip and rumors thrive on attention. By refusing to engage either as a participant or a target, you deprive them of their power. Maintaining integrity, focusing on truth, and practicing compassionate speech are the antidotes to this pervasive social issue. In the end, character speaks louder than words, and the truth has a way of emerging often in the most unexpected ways. Reason 5. Personal insecurities and projection. Unaddressed insecurities often act as a shadow, distorting perceptions and fueling resentment toward others. When individuals fail to confront their inner doubts or fears, they frequently project these feelings onto those around them, especially those who appear more confident or successful. Projection becomes a defense mechanism, temporarily masking their own inadequacies by shifting focus to someone else. One of the most well-known examples is the rivalry between Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison. While both were brilliant minds who revolutionized the world, their professional conflict was partly fueled by insecurities and differing visions for the future of electricity. Edison, established and confident in his direct current system, felt threatened by Tesla's alternating current innovations. The tension between them serves as a cautionary tale of how unaddressed insecurities can manifest as open hostility. In everyday life, such dynamics are common. Imagine a junior artist in a company who envies a peer's frequent recognition and praise. Instead of focusing on personal growth, the artist begins to nitpick the peer's work, undermining their success. Fortunately, in this scenario, a mentor steps in, encouraging the artist to channel this envy into self-improvement. Through guidance, the artist learns to refine their skills and earn recognition authentically. Both Stoicism and Buddhism emphasize the importance of self-awareness in addressing personal insecurities. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Recognizing that insecurities are an internal struggle, not caused by external achievements of others, is a crucial step toward personal growth. Similarly, Buddhist teachings encourage self-compassion as a way to confront inner fears without judgment. Practicing self-compassion can diffuse the urge to project insecurities onto others. Instead of criticizing someone for their success, reflect on what aspects of their achievements inspire you. Use these reflections as motivation to improve yourself. Additionally, fostering empathy for others can help break the cycle of projection. Recognize that everyone has their struggles, even those who appear successful. To address insecurities, mindfulness practices can be transformative. Meditation and self-reflection create space to observe negative thoughts without becoming entangled in them. Journaling can also be a powerful tool to explore the roots of insecurity and chart a path toward growth. Ultimately, personal insecurities are part of the human experience, but how we manage them defines our relationships and self-perception. By confronting these feelings with honesty and compassion, we can turn them into opportunities for growth, fostering resilience and authentic connections with others. Reason 6. Lack of empathy and understanding. Resentment often stems from an inability to empathize with others. Empathy, the ability to understand and share another person's feelings, is a cornerstone of human connection. Without it, emotional barriers arise, leading to misunderstandings, judgment, and disconnection. Consider the story of Mahatma Gandhi, a leader who faced criticism, imprisonment, and hostility throughout his life. Despite this, Gandhi consistently chose the path of empathy. By deeply understanding the perspectives of both his supporters and opponents, he created bridges where others saw walls. His ability to empathize with even those who sought to oppress him transformed conflicts into opportunities for peace. In the context of personal relationships, empathy can mend even the deepest rifts. For example, a father estranged from his son realized their years of conflict were rooted in mutual miscommunication. By practicing active listening and striving to understand his son's perspective, the father rebuilt trust and connection. Loving kindness meditation, a practice rooted in Buddhist teachings, can help cultivate this kind of empathy. By focusing on sending goodwill to oneself and others, the walls of misunderstanding begin to dissolve. Empathy is not about agreeing with someone's actions or perspectives. It's about acknowledging their humanity. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, emphasized this idea by reminding us that everyone acts according to their understanding of good. Recognizing this helps us approach others with patience and compassion, even when we disagree. Modern examples highlight the transformative power of empathy. Public figures like Nelson Mandela, who chose reconciliation over revenge after decades of imprisonment, remind us that empathy can heal even the most profound societal wounds. Mandela's ability to see the humanity in his oppressors created a path toward unity and change in South Africa. To cultivate empathy, start by practicing active listening. When someone speaks, focus entirely on their words and emotions without formulating your response. Ask open-ended questions to clarify their perspective and reflect back what you've heard to show understanding. Additionally, engage in mindfulness exercises to become more aware of your emotional reactions, creating space to respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. Empathy requires effort and vulnerability, but its rewards are immense. It fosters trust, deepens relationships, and creates a foundation for meaningful connections. In a world often divided by differences, empathy acts as a unifying force, reminding us of our shared humanity and the power of understanding to bridge even the widest gaps. Reason 7. Competition and rivalry. Competition is a double-edged sword. When healthy, it inspires growth, innovation, and personal development. However, when rivalry becomes excessive, it breeds resentment, animosity, and a toxic environment where personal ambition overshadows mutual progress. Consider the historical rivalry between Microsoft and Apple, embodied by Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. While their competition spurred incredible advancements in technology, it also fueled tension and division. Over time, however, Gates and Jobs recognized the value of mutual respect. In Jobs' later years, Gates praised his rival's creativity and vision, a testament to the possibility of transforming rivalry into admiration. In a more personal context, two monks in a monastery vied for the esteemed title of abbot. Each tried to outdo the other in displays of piety and discipline, but their rivalry created disharmony within the community. Observing this, the elder monk intervened with a profound lesson. True leadership lies not in titles, but in serving others selflessly. Inspired by this wisdom, the monks shifted their focus from competition to collaboration, striving to uplift the monastery together. Rivalry often arises from a fear of scarcity, the belief that another's success diminishes one's own. This mindset overlooks the vast potential for shared growth. Both Stoicism and Buddhism offer valuable insights here. Stoic philosophy encourages individuals to focus on their own efforts and virtues, rather than comparing themselves to others. Meanwhile, Buddhist teachings emphasize letting go of attachment to outcomes and recognizing the interconnectedness of all beings. To shift from rivalry to collaboration, start by reframing your perspective. Instead of viewing others as competitors, see them as partners in growth. Celebrate their achievements and seek opportunities for mutual learning. Reason 8. Social expectations in nonconformity society often establishes norms and expectations that act as an invisible script dictating how individuals should live their lives. When someone dares to deviate from this script, it can unsettle those who adhere to it, leading to discomfort, judgment, and even resentment. Challenging societal norms is not just an act of defiance, it is an assertion of individuality and authenticity. Consider the story of Malala Yousafzai, who faced intense opposition for advocating girls' education in regions steeped in patriarchal traditions. Her decision to speak out not only challenged societal expectations, but also highlighted the systemic inequities that many were unwilling to confront. Malala's steadfast commitment to her cause transformed her from a target of resentment into a global icon of courage and inspiration. Her story reminds us that challenging norms can pave the way for profound change. In a more relatable context, think of a woman who chooses an unconventional career path, perhaps entering a male-dominated field like engineering or entrepreneurship. Initially, she may face criticism or skepticism from her community, with people questioning her choices and her ability to succeed. Yet by remaining steadfast and demonstrating excellence, she not only proves her critics wrong, but also inspires others to break free from limiting societal expectations. Stoic philosophy and Buddhist teachings both offer valuable insights for navigating such challenges. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius emphasize the importance of focusing on one's own values rather than seeking validation from others. "Be like the rocky promontory against which the waves continually crash," he wrote. "It stands unmoved and the raging of the sea stills around it." This resilience, rooted in inner conviction, allows individuals to remain true to themselves even when faced with external disapproval. Similarly, Buddhism encourages individuals to let go of attachments, including the need for societal approval. The principle of non-attachment teaches us to pursue our paths authentically, free from the burden of others' expectations. By embracing this mindset, we can cultivate a sense of inner peace and clarity, regardless of external judgments. History is replete with individuals who have defied societal norms to leave an indelible mark on the world. Rosa Parks' quiet refusal to give up her seat on a segregated bus challenged deeply ingrained racial prejudices, igniting a movement for civil rights. Her act of nonconformity was met with both admiration and backlash, but it ultimately contributed to a broader societal transformation. In personal relationships, nonconformity can sometimes lead to alienation. Friends or family members may struggle to understand why someone chooses a path that diverges from their expectations. A young artist, for example, might face resistance from parents who believe a career in art is impractical. Over time, however, as the artist achieves success and fulfillment, their family may come to respect and even celebrate their decision. To navigate the challenges of nonconformity, it is essential to cultivate self-awareness and resilience. Ask yourself, are your choices aligned with your values and aspirations? Are you living authentically, or are you conforming to avoid conflict? By answering these questions honestly, you can ensure that your actions are rooted in integrity rather than fear. At the same time, practice empathy toward those who may struggle to accept your choices. Their discomfort often stems from their own fears and limitations, not from any fault in your decisions. By approaching them with understanding rather than defensiveness, you can foster dialogue and perhaps even inspire them to re-examine their own beliefs. Ultimately, living authentically requires courage and conviction. It means embracing your unique path, even when it challenges societal norms or invites criticism. Yet it is through this authenticity that you can find true fulfillment and inspire others to do the same. By remaining steadfast in your journey, you become a beacon of possibility, showing that it is not only acceptable, but essential to live a life true to yourself. Reason 9. Lack of recognition. Feeling unacknowledged can create a quiet storm of bitterness and frustration. Everyone craves validation for their efforts, and when recognition is absent, it can lead to feelings of insignificance and resentment. Yet true fulfillment lies not in external acknowledgement, but in cultivating intrinsic motivation and finding meaning in the work itself. Consider the story of an employee who consistently delivered excellent results, yet was overlooked for promotions and accolades. Instead of allowing bitterness to consume him, he chose to shift his perspective. He began mentoring younger colleagues, finding fulfillment in their growth and success. Over time, his efforts not only transformed his sense of self-worth, but also earned him the respect and admiration of his peers. Recognition eventually followed, but by then it had become a bonus rather than a necessity. History offers profound lessons on this topic. Think of Vincent van Gogh, an artist whose brilliance went unrecognized during his lifetime. Despite the lack of validation, he continued to create, driven by an unyielding passion for his art. Today, his works are celebrated globally, a testament to the enduring value of staying true to one's vision, regardless of external acknowledgement. Stoic philosophy teaches us to focus on what is within our control, our actions, efforts, and intentions, while letting go of outcomes beyond our influence. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Do not waste the remaining part of your life worrying about others unless it affects the common good. It will keep you from doing anything useful." This wisdom encourages us to act with purpose, free from the weight of others' opinions. Similarly, Buddhism emphasizes the importance of detachment from results. The Bhagavad Gita echoes this sentiment. You have the right to work, but never to the fruit of work. By shifting our focus from seeking recognition to finding joy in the act itself, we cultivate resilience and inner peace. Recognition, when it does come, should be seen as a bonus rather than the ultimate goal. Celebrate your progress, acknowledge your efforts, and take pride in your journey. Validation from others can be fleeting, but the sense of fulfillment derived from living authentically and contributing meaningfully is enduring. In daily life, practice gratitude for the opportunities you have to make a difference. Whether it's helping a colleague, supporting a friend, or pursuing a personal goal, recognize the value of your actions. By doing so, you shift your perspective from seeking external validation to appreciating the intrinsic worth of your efforts. Ultimately, the lack of recognition does not diminish your value. Your worth is not defined by applause or accolades, but by the integrity, passion, and purpose you bring to your endeavors. Celebrate your journey, knowing that true success lies not in being seen, but in the quiet fulfillment of living with authenticity and intention. As we navigate the intricate web of human relationships, it's inevitable that we encounter moments of tension, misunderstanding, and even resentment. But within these challenges lies an opportunity, a chance to deepen our understanding of ourselves and others. The reasons why people may secretly harbor negative feelings toward you often reflect universal struggles: envy, insecurity, fear of change, or unmet expectations. By applying the timeless wisdom of Buddhist philosophy and Stoic principles, we can transform these challenges into pathways for growth. When met with envy, respond with compassion. When faced with misunderstanding, strive for clarity and empathy. When your values clash with others, embrace the diversity as a chance to learn. And when recognition eludes you, find joy in the intrinsic value of your efforts. Every interaction holds the potential for connection, healing, and transformation. By approaching these moments with mindfulness, resilience, and authenticity, you not only navigate the complexities of relationships, but also inspire others to do the same. Remember, the journey toward inner peace and meaningful connection begins with understanding both of yourself and the world around you.